Welcome back to Hell. It's the High Mage. We're going to be reviewing the overpowering Berserker build I've been working on. A few minor changes, mostly to the Paragon board. I guess they're not as minor. I was just doing a little bit of testing, and I knew there was a crit glyph. Here it is. What's important here is skills that critically strike generate 3 fury. That's any critical damage to any enemy counts towards that. So if you hit like 10 enemies, that's like 30 fury. So that helps with our fury generation quite a bit. Vulnerable glyph socket. All the bonus fury and fortify damage. Damage while healthy and Bieber right here. And we're working down to here. Not sure what I'm going to put here yet, but gonna do something with that. Skill trees relatively the same. Bash, combat bash, hammer of the ancients, additional damage percentage times 1% per fury you have. So I got 180 on this build. I get up to 180%. Pressure point, 3 ranks. Rallying cry over to the tactical rallying cry. War cry to power war cry. Booming voice for increased duration. Charge with the vulnerable node. Aggressive resistance. Prolific fury. We got Deathblow. We're running 8 ranks off of gear. Over here to Berserking from Deathblow. Our amulet has 3 extra no mercies, so we get an 18% critical strike chance against immobilized, stunned, or slowed, which we stun a lot. We'll get to that perk. Pit Fighter, 3 ranks of that. It's distant damage reduction, multiplier damage to close. We got thick skin and then damage while fortified. 1 heavy-handed, 1 wallop, 3 brute force, and then this right here is the important one, concussion. We're using a 2-handed weapon, so we got 45% chance on every hit to stun. And then our key passive's Unbridled Rage. And over to the gear, we're mostly the same. Disobedience, Exploiters, Limitless Rage. What is this one? Numbing Wrath, more fortify. The additional weapon mastery charge. We managed to pick up the Overkill hammer. What this does is make a shockwave from the Deathblow, and that shockwave can get a lot of crits, and now without even having the fury perk on the Deathblow, we're going to be generating fury with the Deathblow. We picked up Edge Masters because we're trying to have our fury as full as possible at all times. The Retribution perk, or our passive. We put, I'm assuming Encroaching Wrath is the aspect. It's the additional damage with weapon mastery after spending 100 fury, which we'll do in like 2 slams of the hammer. Attacking with basic skill increases next core skill cast damage by 8% a hit, so 4 hits to catch that full bonus. And then we get whirlwinds every 100 fury, because what kind of fucking bar would we be without whirlwinds? Then of course Hammer of the Ancients. Hammer of the Ancients is now going to generate back about half of the fury if you're in a shitload of enemies. This is a tier 33. Nothing insane, about 7 levels above me. We'll see what I can do. You can see the whirlwind's a fun little touch. managing to have our Fury keep up with us. Wasn't even a direct hit, but we killed the jailer. Pretty sure I've done this dungeon a few times already, but can't seem to remember what part 2 is. Freeing prisoners or collect the animus, I don't know. The dungeons are a little predictable. Also, the death blow will double hit now, so even close enemies will take 2 hits regardless. Like anyone that gets direct hit is catching the stun as well. Oh, the second the second part of the double charge aspect is that you get like 50% chance to stun enemies with your death blow. Even though this is a 33, the last few times I've been overwhelmed with elites right here and just got screwed over like 2 or 3 deaths. So let's see, we're at a 7 level disadvantage and we're gonna aim for no deaths, which might just immediately happen since I said that's what the goal is gonna be. Got him. Woohoo, million damage. Feels good. Oh, we got the Shrine of Run Faster. Always a nice one to have. Just the fact too that, you know, even here and there we'll be able to generate like 6 Fury off of a swing, just one attacking one enemy, which will give us like a, you know, a running berserker. I have a tendency to just smash small enemies and keep the berserker up because I think it gives a small movement speed buff. I could be wrong. Somewhere on the Paragon board it says, or the skill trees. Want to kind of leave one though. That way you have instant berserker when you run into a bunch of enemies. It's nice to start out that way. You make more fury right off the bat, and then now any crit is giving us 4 fury as well. So even the basic skill is gonna be generating 13 to 15 per hit, depending. See, we get that instant vulnerable, which is nice because I guess that's one thing I kind of forgot to highlight was the weapon proficiency or whatever it is. Two-handed axe expertise, and the bonus right here for having it ranked 10 is 10% critical strike chance against vulnerable enemies, which we get that right away vulnerable for free from the exploiter glyph. Let's just be honest, it's a perk socket, that's all it is. Bonus perks. I've been trying to push past 40, but I just keep running into fury issues. But I think this glyph, the crit glyph with the fury on crits, I think that's going to be a huge help in the higher tier dungeons. And then also there's one other aspect where we can put where the whirlwind is, because the whirlwind honestly just does trash damage. It's going to be the generate resource when crowd controlling enemies, which it seems kind of uncapped, so I'm sure if you can double stun enemies you'll be making a shitload of resource. It also goes well with the weapon charge chance to stun and the overkill effect. Oh yeah, I think I'm running the Jinxed Heart over here too. The extra critical damage, but the multiplied less non-critical damage. Oh, now that we're at the end, we got the Vicious Heart every 5 seconds while above 60% life. Core skills cost life instead of resource, so that's nice. You get like a full power hit with 30% extra damage, depending, you know, if you built up off of the perks like this one, or I believe this one. So just a nice way to catch some extra damage for free. We got a pretty good roll of it too. It's 269 out of 359. Then we got after spending 61 Fury, which you come over here. I mean, it's free right now, but Hammer of the Ancients when it's not free. Let's see. 70. So we're automatically just getting that every time. So there's no cooldown on it. So every time we spend 61 Fury, our next non-basic attack does 33% increased critical strike chance, feeding into the Fury loop. And then, yeah, the Cursed Heart. Anyways, like and subscribe if you enjoy the content.